Have you ever wondered what could be worse than death in a post-SHTF world? Only one thing: when 12 prepared survivalists decide to weld the door of their bunker shut from the inside, realizing they are condemning themselves to slow suffocation. They weren't hiding from marauders. They were trying to save humanity from themselves. My name is Paul. I stalked this sector for 3 years. Bunker number 9 was considered a legend. Autonomy for 20 years, armor, filters. But when I found it, I froze. The external locks were intact, but the seams. Rough, multi-layer welds ran along the entire perimeter of the door from the inside. Those who were there didn't just close themselves in. They entombed themselves alive. I spent a week burning through that steel. And now, looking at what remains inside, I understand, I should have left that door closed forever. It all began a month after the collapse. The 9 group were elite, former military, engineers. But they made a fatal mistake. They took in patient 0. It was a child found on the surface in a chemical fallout zone. There were no visible injuries, just a strange apathy. I found surveillance recordings in the central hub. On the 14th day, the boy began to bloom. This isn't a virus in the usual sense. It's fungal mimicry. His tissues began to be replaced by a structure that perfectly copies organic matter, but is controlled by a collective fungal mind. The 9's problem was their ventilation system. Too late, they realized that the spores spread not through the air, but through sweat and physical contact. A camera in the dining hall captured the moment of truth. One of the fighters accidentally cut his hand, but instead of blood, white tendrils crawled out of the wound and sealed the skin back together in seconds. They understood they were no longer human. Every one of them was infected. But the fungus's intelligence preserved their memories and personalities so that they would open the door. The fungus wanted to get outside, into the world, to continue colonization. In the captain's journal, the last entry is written in a trembling hand. Mark tried to open the airlock at night. He was screaming that he could hear his wife's voice from the surface. But we know his wife died on the first day. The fungus inside him is manipulating his desires. The only way to stop the spread is to deprive ourselves of the physical ability to leave. They gathered all the acetylene tanks at the entrance. The engineer, already half covered in white growth, welded the seams until his fingers fused with the welding machine. They destroyed the control panel, burned the electronics, and welded the door so that it could not be opened without heavy equipment. They voluntarily chose death by lack of oxygen so as not to become a gateway for this thing. When I entered the living quarters, I saw them. 12 figures sitting in a circle. They had not decayed. They had turned into statues of a white material, hard as stone. And the most horrifying part, when my flashlight illuminated the captain's face, his eyelid twitched. They are not dead. They are in stasis. Waiting for someone from outside to cut through the door and let in fresh air. I'm writing this while sitting in quarantine in my temporary camp. I feel a strange itch under the skin on my hands. If this story made you think that some doors are better left unopened, leave a like. Share this video so others know, in an SHTF world, the enemy isn't always outside. Subscribe to the channel. We reveal the darkest survival scenarios and horror stories every 3 days. And remember, if a door is welded shut from the inside, walk away. Just walk away.